Hi, my name is Catarina, and I'm a strategy consultant and facilitator with Ignite Management. Talking to an association leader the other day, we had a bit of an aha moment when discussing strategy and strategy recalibration, and it made me think that I would want to include a short definition in my next video. So, to get a good sense of what we mean when we talk about strategic recalibration, let's say you have a strategy that you developed some time ago and things are moving along quite nicely. You have your staff and your board team aligned around a shared vision. And then after a year or two, you can slowly start ticking off some of the goals and the objectives that you set yourself in that plan. And you will also notice that some things will have shifted internally as well as externally. Internally, that can include staff turnover or board composition, and externally, it can include things like COVID, being quite a dramatic example, or economic factors. Could be a slow downturn or even an upturn. It could be political changes, for example, due to an election, or it could be simply membership shifts and changes that you're facing. And understanding that strategy is a process, it's not a destination. You want to be checking in if the roadmap that you created a year or two ago is still valid, if it's still getting you where you want to go. And this is where organizational learning comes in. It's about creating spaces where you try and make sense of the patterns that you're observing, where you're assessing what you have been doing and how that's been working for you, and where you try and make sense of the emerging reality around you. And such a check-in is also important to identify and assess some of the activities that you're doing, and identifying which ones you might have to stop, or which ones where you need to pivot, or which ones you need to persevere with and keep going. In our books, strategy is never dogmatic, and it's really just a tool to get you where you want. And so it's more than natural to be checking in on a regular basis with your team to see if that's still where you want to be going, if it's still working for you, and recalibrating your strategy. Oftentimes we find that organizations don't need to revise their long-term vision or rewrite their values, but it's more working on the 1 to 3 year objectives where most of the focus lies in these kinds of sessions. So at its most basic, strategic recalibration is usually done regularly, about maybe once a year. It involves reaching out to your staff team and your board as well. And it involves coming together in one or multiple work sessions, facilitated sessions, which can be done online or in person. And you might ask yourself, well, does that mean we have to do our strategic plan every year from scratch? No, because that would be a waste of resources and time. This is more an exercise of updating your existing strategy, of recalibrating your existing strategy and aligning it to the reality that you're facing right now. So if you're interested in finding out what that could mean for your organization or your association, drop me a line. I'd love to connect.